involving all the stakeholders from the multidisciplinary domain is the objective of today's faculty development program. It is mainly to involve everyone so that all can learn from each other by interaction, discussions, and deliberation. Namaskar. A very beautiful and good morning to our honorable chief guest, our keynote speaker, although ma'am will join us shortly, our deputy pro vice chancellor, Amity University Lucknow campus, our dean academics, our director, Amity Law School, and other invited dignitaries and delegates. I, Anupriya Yadav, assistant professor, Amity Law School, Amity University Lucknow campus, welcome you all in the 5th Faculty Development Program on accentuating the importance of the amalgamation of related disciplines in the domain of law 2023. Faculty members are the driving force of university. They deliver comprehensive knowledge and require training for the student. These subject matter experts promote the reputation of the institute. However, in contemporary times, the technologies are changing in the blink of an eye. Teaching has become a learner-focused and the expert faculty requires some upskilling. So the main idea behind the faculty development program is the upskilling of the faculty. This upskilling is called a faculty development program, and it is unfair to expect that it will be abreast of all the development and advanced tech trends and teaching methods. Therefore, there is a need to invest in the faculty development program for the bright future of their students, future-ready faculty members, and to stay competitive. The Faculty Development Program is one of the oldest and most prestigious events of Amity Law School, Lucknow campus. It is the flagship event of our institute, which welcomes the participants from across the country. With the 4 successful editions of Faculty Development Program, Amity Law School has come up with its 5th edition. And I assure you that this 5th Faculty Development Program 2023 will prove to be fruitful and informative for all the members participating. This 5th National Development Program is going to be grander and outstanding than ever before. Thank you all for being a part of this 5th Faculty Development Program 2023, and I wish you all a very happy learning experience. Light and brightness has been equated with positivity, motivation, harbinger of good, and associated with the spiritual being. To start us off the event on an auspicious note, we will now have the lamp lighting ceremony. To begin with, may I now start inviting our honorable chief guest, Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar Sir, Director, Gujarat National Law University. Our keynote speaker, P. Sachanama, will join us virtually very shortly. Our Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Commander Kumar Tiwari Sir, our Dean Academics, Professor Dr. Rajesh Kumar Tiwari Sir, and our Director, Amity Law School, Professor Dr. G.P. Yadav Sir, on the dais for lamp lighting ceremony.
FDP स्टूडेंट है ये बस इसके अलावा नहीं है हमारे पास
किसके पास है वो भेजा था कैमरा से देख नहीं सकते हैं
कैमरा बेटा वहां तक कहाँ लेके
चला दो बनना चला दो चला दो
Thank you, everyone. The lighting of lamp is the testament in ushering the positive energy for us event, and with this, we have formally inaugurated the proceedings. Followed with this, we have the welcome ceremony. As the sapling needs care and attention to flourish, we welcome our guests, knowing that your guidance and wisdom will enrich our gathering. Atithi Devo Bhava. I would now request our Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Wing Commander, Dr. Anil Kumar Tiwari, so to present the sapling to our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar, Director, Gujarat National Law University, Gujarat, India. A very warm welcome, sir. I would now request Professor Dr. J. Prakash Yadav, Director, Amity Law School, to present his sampling to our Honorable Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Wing Commander of Anil Kumar Tiwari, sir. We welcome you, sir. I would now request Dr. Arvind Singh, Convener, 5th Faculty Development Program 2023, to present sampling to Dean Academics, Professor Dr. Rajesh Tiwari, sir. We welcome you, sir. I would now request Dr. Reshma Umair and Dr. Jyoti Yadav, co-convener, 5th Faculty Development Program, to present the sampling to our Director, Professor Dr. J. Prakash Yadav, sir. Welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge round of applause for the debate, please. A warm welcome is the first sign of hospitality. Words of welcome fill an occasion with warmth and makes one feel that he is meant to be there. I would now request Professor Dr. J. Prakash Yadav, sir, Director, Amity Law School, who is the driving force behind every successful event of the Institute, to deliver the welcome address. Sir, please.
FDP student.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Good morning to one and all. At the outset, I would like to welcome on behalf of Amity Law School, Amity University of Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow, and entire Amity University, to our honorable chief guest, stalwarts, legal luminaries, Dhruv of Legal Galaxy, Professor Dr. S. Santa Kumar, Director, Gujarat National Law University, Gujarat, in the 5th edition of the faculty development programs on the topic accentuating the importance of amalgamations of related discipline in the domain of law. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I extend to my hearty welcome honorable keynote speaker, another legal luminaries and renowned academicians who will join online, Professor Dr. Preeti Saxena, Director, Center of Postgraduate Legal Study, Department of Human Rights, Baba Saheb Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. A hearty welcome to you, ma'am. I extend to my hearty welcome to our beloved honorable Deputy Vice Chancellor, Wing Commander, Dr. Anil Kumar Tiwari, sir, of Lucknow campus. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I extend to my hearty welcome to the strongest pillar of the Amity University, Lucknow, Professor Dr. Rajesh Kumar Tiwari, in academic of Lucknow campus. A hearty welcome to you, sir. I extend to my hearty welcome to all other HY and HOD who join us in this inaugural sessions. I extend to my hearty welcome to all the dignitaries who join and delegates who join online, and also the participants across the India on the 5th edition of National Faculty Development Programs. I also extend to my hearty welcome to my co-faculty members, technicians, supporting staff, media persons in this hall for the 5th National Faculty Development Programs. The faculty development programs is actually designed to keep in mind that every person should be aware about the amalgamations of the related discipline in the domain of law. Law cannot be discussed in isolation. The law as a domain is broad and all-encompassing, covering a wide range of disciplines that are interconnected at least 3 ways. Number one, legal legislation drafted by the legislature significantly affecting the promulgations of knowledge and expertise in the field of social science. Secondly, the expertise provided by another organized body of the knowledge may at a time of necessary for the resolution of a particular legal issue. And thirdly, law may be a subject matter of another discipline, For example, management team, another discipline that plays a vital role in the field of law. A law graduate cannot be attain a desired success in his professional life until and unless he or she has mastered of the managerial skill. Thus, the study of law might be sensibly regarded as not only the preparation for the profession, but also a branch of dignity or the social science. Therefore, it can be easily concluded that the literature, philosophy, cultural study, economics, history, management, medicine, sociology might all provide an insight into the nature of law. I'm extremely delighted to give a recap of the four national faculty development programs that have been organized since 2019 under the guidance of the senior authority to translate the vision of our honorable founder president. Our very first 7-day national faculty development programs held between 10 to 16 June 2019 was organized on the theme effective pedagogy mechanism in the legal education. And it was offline physical mode. It was pre-COVID. So 60 participants was here. It was designed to enhance the skill set of researchers, scholars, academicians who attended the event from across the country. It included planned sessions that facilitate the opportunity to enhance the knowledge and develop the skills essential to legal affairs. Well-renowned academicians and professionals addressed the sessions based on various legal subjects, namely constitutional law, Indian Penal Code, criminal procedure code, evidence law, human rights, family law, jurisprudence, and so on and so forth. The second faculty development programs 2020 organized on online mode. It is spread from 15 June to 20th June with 334 participants from across the India. There were 11 technical sessions that legal experts addressed. The speaker enlightened the participant on the topic of contemporary issues in the constitutional law, research perspectives after and before the COVID-19 pandemic and the legal contemporary issues with a special reference to COVID-19. And its impact on the human right and the criminal law. All of the sessions were very well received. In line of this, the Faculty Development Program Series Amity Law School campus organized the third National Faculty Development Program on the theme New Paradigm in the Legal Education and Teaching Methodology from 21st June to 27 June 2021 with 243 participants from the across India. It was a global initiative taken to encourage discourse on the changing dynamic of the legal education in the contemporary setting. The 11 sessions served as a platform to explore the solution, ideas, mechanisms essential to deal with the emerging issue regarding the theme. The sessions were designed to appeal to greater audience comprising faculty, law professional researchers from across the country. Amity Law School, Amity Uttar Pradesh, Lucknow hosted fourth National Faculty Development Program on the hybrid mode. Emerging contours of the constitutional law and human rights was the theme. From 20th June to 26th June, and 150 participants from across India participated. The event was intended to enhance the teaching, learning, and research skill of every career researcher in law field and all the academicians. The FDP aimed to provide the participant with an opportunity to acquire knowledge about the contemporary development that are taking place in various dimensions of laws. Faculty development programs were designed keeping in the mind that every citizen ought to be aware about the constitutional value and the human rights. It also aimed to bring academicians and researchers from various disciplines, both law and non-law, onto a common platform to study and comprehend the various nuances of the Indian Constitution and human rights. Its principal values, fundamental rights available to them. Further, it also aimed to explain the evolution of constitutionalism and how the value operates in different spheres of the social and political arena. To grace these extremely efficacious and successful 4 events, we had extremely prominent and renowned chief guests and guests of honor, namely Professor Dr. Santa Kumar, Director of Gujarat National University, and we are glad that he is second time joined us. First time he joined an online, and second time he is Then Professor B.T. Kaul, the director of the Delhi Judicial Academy, former director of Delhi Judicial Academy, and renowned professor of Delhi University, and nowadays he is practicing in the Supreme Court. And the third one, Professor Kamaljeet Singh, Vice Chancellor, Madhusudan Law University, Cuttack. Professor Subir Kumar Bhatnagar, Vice Chancellor, Ramanand National Law University, Lucknow. Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, Director, Indian Law Institute, New Delhi. Professor Nishtha Jaiswal, Vice Chancellor, Himachal Pradesh National Law University. Professor Dr. Ballabh Chauhan, ex-Vice Chancellor, Dharmashastra National Law University. Justice K.T. Sai, retired Uttarakhand High Court. We are also extremely fortunate to have from the highly intellectual and knowledgeable keynote speaker and the guest speaker to enhance our wisdom and information and the name of you. Professor P.D. Mishra, Head of Department of Human Rights, Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. Professor M. Afzal Wani, Professor, School of Law and Legal Study of Guru Gobind University, Delhi. Professor Rakesh Kumar Singh, Professor Next Dean of Head of Department, Faculty of Law, Lucknow University. Professor Dr. P.T. Saxena, Professor and Director of the Center of Postgraduate Legal Study Department of Human Rights, Baba Sahib Bhimrao Ambedkar University, Lucknow. Professor Dr. G.K. Sahu, Professor, Faculty of Law, Banaras Hindu University. Professor Dr. Alok Mishra, Dean, Kirti P. Mehta School of Business, Mumbai. Professor Dr. Pradeep Ulsrestha, Dean, School of Law, Chandra University, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Professor Dr. Amlan Deep Sir, Professor, Indian Law Institute, New Delhi. Professor Dr. Vijay Supra, Dean, Associate Professor, Himachal Pradesh Law University. Professor Dr. K. Pandey, Professor of Dr. Ram Law University. Professor Dr. Mohammad Asad Malik, Professor, Faculty of Law, Jamia Millia Islamia. Dr. Anand Kumar Vishwakarma, Professor, Department of Law University. Dr. Emmanuel Kumar Tiwari, Dean, So with this, I would like to terminate. And before I leave the podium, once again, I welcome the dignitaries online and offline. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now please visualize the glimpses of previous editions of the faculty development program.
Screenshot करना
एमिटी यूनिवर्सिटी में आपका स्वागत है। मैं मेघा शर्मा, एमिटी विधि विश्वविद्यालय की छात्रा, आप सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ।
Now, this was our previous 4 editions of the faculty development program. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Dr. Rakesh Kumar Tiwari, Sir, Dean Academics, Amity University, Lucknow campus, whose name echoes the essence of service, dedication, and compassion, to come upon the dais and deliver the address. Please, sir.
So, very good morning. Professor Yadav has hardly left anything for me to speak. And it is also relevant to say that a person like me who is from different background, from biotechnology, I'm always sort of what when I speak on this law or any other field, particularly outside the science and technology. But I have gone through the objective of this FDP, and the objective of this FDP is to amalgamation of the different fields. Biotechnology may be one of them. We have discussed with Professor Kumar that we can explore the possibility of starting a program on biotechnology policy and law with GNLU. So with this word, I welcome sir. I welcome you on behalf of all the MIT fraternity, on behalf of the law school, on behalf of the MIT Lucknow. And I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you to spare time from your otherwise very busy schedule to guide us, to interact with us in this FDP program. This particular FDP holds immense significance as it is intended to address the amalgamation of various disciplines of the law. It is more so important because multidisciplinary approach is going to be mandatory in coming days. Because if you see the various ingredients of National Education Policy 2020, it says that by 2030, there will be no institutions of the mono stream, whether it is the NMUs or IITs or IIM or any medical institutions. Every institution has to explore the possibility to become multidisciplinary, because the multidisciplinary approach is the approach which can bring the essence of holistic development in the students, and this is the only approach that has to fetch the desired outcome that our policy makers have been targeting. So through this program, we will explore the possibility of integration of the law with management, design, art, human culture. I would add the biotechnology as well, and also the human values, because human values are very, very important, and it is one of the important ingredients of our mission, of our common president. He believes that each and every student must be a success story, and not only the success story, not only a professional. Each and every student has to be a good professional with good human values. I think this program will definitely target those values as well when delivering and when upskilling and reskilling of the faculty in next few days. I would like to emphasize that this faculty development program is not merely an event, but a stepping stone towards the bright future for you, for your institution, and the academic community as a whole. Same is also aligned with one of the important UGC quality mandates, that is Guru Dakshita. So I hope I have gone through the brochure and I have seen that all the elements are there. With this word, once again, I extend warm welcome to each one of you and wish you a fruitful and inspiring experience during the faculty development program. Please involve by heart and soul, and you would definitely find yourself in a different space after completion of this program. Feel that you are a different version of yourself, and you would justify your presence in the classroom before the students in a more relevant manner. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. We feel honored and proud to have amongst us our Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University Lucknow Campus, Wing Commander, Dr. Adil Tiwari, sir, whose lessons and motivation can bring optimistic transition to anyone's life. I would now request sir to please come up on the dais. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anupriya. Honorable, most respected Chief Guest Sir, Dr. Shanta Kumarji, Dean Academics, my colleague, Dr. Rajesh Tiwari, Director, Amity Law School, Professor Yadav ji, and all my dear faculty colleagues taking part in this FDP offline and online. A very warm good morning to all of you. At the outset, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to Professor Chandrakumar ji. We really are indebted to you, sir, for being with us today. And these words are not only on my personal behalf or on just behalf of the Lucknow campus, but they are on behalf of our Honorable Founder President, Dr. Ashok Chauhan ji, who's the guiding light for this great vision to transform India as a knowledge leader. These greetings are also on behalf of our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Chauhan ji, our beloved Chairman of the Lucknow campus, Dr. Chauhan ji, and also our most learned and respected Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Balvinder Shukla. I place on record my deep appreciation for Amity Law School for organizing yet another faculty development program. Every small little thing that you do shows initiative. The twinkling lights that you've got over here, the marigold that you have put, is just not a preparation. It shows how much interest you take in the program that you organize, and these little small things, what special values they hold for your chief guest. So my deep appreciation to you, because once you start on the right note, definitely learning will be there. It will follow. I'm also happy to note that you have chosen a very, very apt topic. Though I'm not a law qualified person, but it's very close to my heart. It is amalgamation of accentuating the importance of the amalgamation of related disciplines in the domain of the law. A very, very important topic, which is paying so much of importance towards amalgamation of various, domains of studies in the law. As you already know, that humankind is going through the most potent change ever. We're going through great change, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning. It's not a cliche, but mark my words, the world is going to change. It's more powerful than the hundreds of nuclear bombs that we exploded, Today, humanity has power to wipe out the earth several times with the nuclear power they have. And let me tell you, so-called artificial intelligence has thousands and million times more power than this. We just can't even imagine, we just can't even fathom how it is going to transform the human society. There would be entities, I wouldn't say things, but entities far more intelligent than human beings to solve problems which human beings cannot. And when we have these entities, and this is not a science fiction, a lot of people thought it's a science fiction, but that day we were discussing ChatGPT and GPT-4, and we were giving a bird's eye view to all the persons. It's mind-boggling. And we must understand how this study features into law. Because law is based on morality, ethics, value system. When you start giving citizenship to an entity which is not living in its normal form, does it have rights, same as a citizen? When you're dealing with somebody which you may not call living, but it has such an amount of similar to sentience, does the question of morality come in? It very much does. There was a petition signed by some 1,000-odd experts to hold progress in artificial intelligence, because they said that unless the question of morality and ethics is solved, we should not move ahead. If you have an entity which can convince you that
you are wrong or you are right. It can argue. It gathers all the knowledge from the entire human race, all the cases that have been. Then it becomes very, very tricky. How do we decide law first? How do we constrain the development of this united society of machines and human beings? That's what the future is going to hold for you. You put up a legal draft, and I'm quite sure you put it to the AI toolbox, and it is going to generate the generative transformer, a very superior, very fine legal draft, which you might wonder. And it's moving at an exponential pace. Hence, it is very important to amalgamate all that learning at one point. I think perhaps if you've not included, you could also think of including this. This is a very, very hot topic. I was just discussing it with two of my students who had been to Austria, Vienna, who participated in international moot court, courtesy Professor Yadav and his motivation. They were saying this is a real hot topic of research in some of the best law universities. My blessings to all the participants, all the faculty who are going to participate in this FDP. Let there be a great learning across, and let us come out smarter, brighter, and better human beings. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for blessing us with your words of motivation and appreciation. Next address was by Professor Dr. Preeti Saxena ma'am, who is going to join us virtually, but because of certain delay, she's not joined us. She'll join us shortly. So in the meantime, I would request our chief guest of the inaugural session, Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar sir. The fragrance of flower is spread only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person is spread in all directions. Today, we have the distinct honor and privilege of having a true luminary amongst us. Someone whose achievements and contributions have left an indelible mark in the field. And we're delighted to take an opportunity to welcome the chief guest for today's inaugural function, Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar. Sir, the director of Gujarat National Law University, and with about 30 years of teaching experience at prestigious universities, including Hidayatullah National Law University. Sir is also appointed as the president of Gujarat International Maritime Arbitration Center. Sir is an alumnus of Madras University, Chennai, where he earned his graduation, post-graduation, and doctorate degree in law. Before joining the legal academia, he had practiced at the Madras High Court for 7 years. His area of specialization are environmental law, human rights law, international law, and constitutional law. He has authored 3 books on environmental law and 2 books on human rights, published by famous publishing house such as LexisNexis, to name a few. He has published a number of research articles on contemporary legal issues in various national and international journals and edited volumes. He has edited papers and delivered keynote addresses in many national and international conferences in India and abroad, and he delivered lectures at 50 premier universities in various countries. Recently, Sir was elected to represent South and West Asia at the IUCN Academy of Environmental Law. Currently, Sir is the chair of Environmental Law Study Group of the International Association of Law Schools and the member of Teaching and Capacity Building Committee of the IUCN Academy for Environmental Law. Sir is also serving as a country focal point for India in the Indo-Asian Development Bank project on environment and climate change. Besides this, Sir is also the member of various prestigious and important committees such as Bar Council of India, to name a few. Along with this, Sir is also a member of the Special Task Force and School and Higher Technical State Planning Commission. Furthermore, Sir has executed environmental law capacity building project funded by the World Bank, SOCIA, and SID, law teaching and research skills project of the British Council and the Cardiff University. Sir is also the recipient of various prestigious awards like the Environmental Law Champions Development Award from Asian Development Bank, Philippines, and the Best Social Scientist Award at the IP Quiz 2020. Sir has been recognized the IP Director of the year. He has traveled around the globe extensively and has the privilege of giving lectures to today's time. May I now have the request our chief guest to kindly step forward and join us on the stage. Mr. One request, please don't start to the end, ma'am. We are eagerly waiting for your lecture.
Respected Spring Commander Dr. Anil Kumar, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Academics. Dean Academics, Professor Dr. Rajesh Tiwari, Director of the Amity Law School, Professor Dr. J.P. Arlo. The convener for this faculty development program, Dr. Arvind Kumar Singh. Distinguished faculty colleagues, all those participants who are joining us
Technical difficulty.
online, and all the
When you session start immediately.
thank each one of them
कोई ना अगर कहीं
for giving me this opportunity to be important. To share some of our experiences on this very important topic. I think I received a message on my WhatsApp somewhere in April. From Professor Yadav, that we are having this FDP on this topic. And we would want you to be there with us. And if you can share that WhatsApp image, sir, people will know that within less than 30 seconds, I said, yes, certainly I will. In spite of knowing how difficult it is for me to travel because of multiple responsibilities that I am currently holding. Not only taking care of the National University and also the Vice Chancellor in charge for the Gujarat Maritime University. And following Amity model, GNLU has also started setting up campus outside the state of Gujarat. So now we are setting up a new campus in the evening time at Dadra and Nagar areas. Start the classes in most of July. So most of that time I'm spending at Silvassa. And apart from that, the biggest responsibility of being the convener for CLAT. I'm traveling across the country sourcing questions for the CLAT examination. So that is why when the Dean Academics asked me from where are you coming, I said I'm really, I could not answer because I left Ahmedabad a week ago. But then I have been in the air for so many days. And, but I can tell you that I am coming to Lucknow from Delhi, where I landed at Delhi at 12:30 midnight. Then again I woke up at 6 o'clock and then reached the airport to reach Lucknow on time. So in spite of that, why I am telling this is because of the subject chosen by you. I thought that I must be present here. Because this is something in which the law schools have not been discussing it until now. I think we should not feel shy in accepting certain failures. Legal education. I'll not blame the regulators. In fact, the regulators' vision was to amalgamate different disciplines to the domain of law. If you look into the history of the 5-year law degree program started by the Bar Council of India. I don't know how many of you know which year was it? When was the 5-year program introduced in India?
It was where someone.
Any guesses? You want me options? Yeah, I'll give you option A 1983, option B 1984, option C 1988, option D none of them. So the right answer is 1983. 1983, Maharishi Dayanand University at Rohtak, Haryana. That was the first university to start this 5-year law degree program. Why was it? Why did this country need a 5-year law degree program? What was wrong with the already existing 3-year law degree program, which was very popular for days? So I want the faculty members to go into the history of this to understand the interdisciplinarity of law and how it is important to amalgamate law with other disciplines. So this was one of the very, very important objective behind introducing a 5-year program, because when we were getting or when we were teaching students only law for 3 years, then the wisdom of the then administrators in the bar council, the judges, lawyers, at that particular point of time, felt that law should not be studied in isolation. It's important that it should be studied in relationship with the social sciences. And therefore, they started integrating BA with law. So the idea of teaching economics, political science, sociology, history to a law student emerged since 1982. So therefore, this topic is not new for legal education. But what has happened is, over a period of time, like many of us here, we did not understand that amalgamation because we were never told, we should not be blamed for it because our predecessors never emphasized that importance. In fact, I should rather quote your title, Accentuating. So this Accentuating, right? What is the title? Accentuating the importance of amalgamation. What is the meaning of accentuating? Did anyone check in the dictionary? The most appropriate usage of this word, and the wonderful vocabulary used in the time, accentuating. I don't know whose idea was this at Amity Lucknow, but I found it a wonderful word that attracted me. That this is a wonderful initiative and I thought that we should be a part of this. Because this accentuating is what is currently required. Amalgamation has been done sometime back. The idea of amalgamation originated in 1983 and maybe 1 or 2 years before that. But in 1983, it started, it was put into practice by the Maharishi Dayananda University Law School at Rohtak, and then followed by the government hospital in Chennai in the year 1984. And I'm very fortunate to say that I belong to that first batch of this 5-year law degree program. So then we were taught, for example, my first class, I could very vividly remember when I went to the law school, my first class was English. As usual, we think that we know everything in English because we have studied it for all 12 years in school. And what is that new English again in the law college are going to teach us? But then the English teacher who came to my class, she came with a book, with a textbook, and said that this is the textbook prescribed for this course. Those days it was not semester, it was an annual thing. So this entire year we are going to read this book. So I was worried when I looked at the course syllabus. I thought that again they are going to teach Renan Martin to me 1 more year in the law school. We were fed up of Renan Martin, not that read the book those days. Every English teacher used to torture us with that Renan Martin portion. There was a lot of exercise. But then she brought a book with a old, with a photo on the cover page of an old man, an English dad, and that hair they have in the book. the headgear of the House of Lords. So he was wearing that house. It was a very attractive book, and then I saw that. I do not know how many of you had read that book by Lord Denning called Due Process of Law. So we teach it here in the law schools. In fact, that should have been the way English should be taught. Not English as a language, but English as a legal language. So English was taught to me as a student of law through a book authored by Lord Denning. Please open your phones, Google for this book by Lord Denning. It was a series of 3 books he had written, Due Process of Law. And in the second year, we had to study this next book, What Next in Law. And all our English assessments used to happen based on the passages that used to be there in this book. It was a lovely read. I know that I was not a very great student. Even as a mediocre student, I enjoyed reading the book. I enjoyed reading that book to the extent that in that year I should have read the book at least 10 times. Not for the fear of examination, but because those days the universities, we don't have the fear for examinations. The fear for examination is something recent enough. Now everybody is coming with issues like mental health, mental health, stress. I know, I think all of the students will be talking to you in this language nowadays. They were on assignment, they will come with a lot of mental health issues. So those days we were not afraid of the examinations because whether you read and write or you don't read and write, you will get 40 marks. Nothing more than that or nothing less than that. So you know that you write trash, you will get still 40. Or you write excellent answer, still you will get 41 or 42. Nothing more. So there was not even second class. So we all graduated as a third class lawyer. Right? That's what my Methodist University degree says, that I am a third class. And I have hidden it in a locker so that my children don't see that. So that was the idea initially. So they taught English through this book. Did you get the cover page of that book? Can you just Google for that book? Please use your phones and check for this book, Due Process of Law by Lord Denning. Right? And the second series, what we studied in the second year was What Next in Law by Lord Denning. For God's sake, please read that book at least once. You will be a very, very, very different politician. You will be a very different administrator after reading that book. You got the book? Yeah. Now Indian editions are available, I think. So those days, it was only I think Bloomsbury publishers. Who is the publisher? Oxford? Okay. But I think Indian reprints are available. Nowadays you get it. So that was one thing. That was how we were taught English. Like my economics course. My economics course was not called as economics course. It was named as, but like generally I see, nowadays law schools have this microeconomics, macroeconomics, or economics 1 and economics 2. Many people don't even care. There are some universities, they have economics general principles and the economics of development. These are some nomenclature you find, isn't it? Like you must be saying in the law school curriculum. But when I studied economics, because why I'm taking you to those days is that was the day when this concept of amalgamation of different disciplines to the field of law, that idea originated. So when it originated, it was on-field implemented as well. And therefore, I had a paper on the cost of legal complaints. My economics course was titled as the economics of compliance. So we were taught in the class of economics some case law which we used to study in law of tort, like Donald versus Stevens, and then they used to say that, for example, Donald versus Stevens. So if the company would have installed some machinery to take care of the purity of the commodity that is sold in the market, it would not have faced such legal consequences. Because it wanted to save a little bit of money. Right? In not ensuring compliance with law, it had to face a legal suit, and ultimately the company had to be closed down because it was not fair. The company got legal. And I said that was 1984 when I studied law. So my economics teacher was continuously throughout the year was using the case study of Union Carbide Corporation, the Bhopal gas strategy, to prove the point that if this pipeline from the tank where the methyl isocyanate was saved, if the tank was connected to the flare cover 200 meters away, the gas would have leaked through the flare cover and ultimately it would have burned. It would not have killed so many people, which would not have resulted in closure of that industry. So the cost of not switching off the air conditioner because that methyl isocyanate should be kept below 0 degree temperature. Because it is the chemical is such. So but then to save money, they switched off the AC plant. Because the factory workers then they thought that it was December 3rd, it's already winter, it's not ठंडा है, इसका क्या जरूरत है? बंद करो, कुछ saving हो जाएगा. So they saved money, they saved electricity bill, and they switched off the air conditioner, which was cooling the methyl isocyanate tank, especially the tank number E10, which caused this explosion. The flare cover was not connected because that pipeline got rusted sometime back. Then during regular maintenance, they were told that this pipe will cost some 200 meter pipe should be reinstalled. They said, "Iska kya zarurat hai? Band karo." बाद में देख लेंगे. So that cost implication. You can understand that till 2023, January 2023, the Supreme Court was hearing the review petition, the curative petitions of the methyl isocyanate since 1984. This is haunting. Not only that, the incident is haunting the people and the victims in here. This incident is haunting not only the company, the Union Carbide Corporation, but also its successors, the Dow Chemicals. So why I could remember all these things, including the tank number, and the chemical and the quantity of chemical, the distance of pipeline, because I was taught that way. I should thank my teachers for walking me through the Union Carbide plant. I feel like I was there on that day. Of course, it was the latest event of that particular, now it is history. But I'm just giving you as an example that when you want to amalgamate something into the field of law, take current issues. Today, newspaper is full of issues. And this kind of amalgamation with the sociology, talking about, live-in relationship, talking about same-sex marriage, talking about uniform civil code, to have a standard marriage law in this country. Now, related to the sociological theories of marriage and kinship. Now, is it correct? Now, this is what something you will have to do that, by linking, because as law teacher, I know that we have a very limited understanding of sociology, but then law schools have the benefit of having a sociology teacher. Now we should resort to cooperative teaching. So when you prepare, both of you should prepare and say that this is what I'm going to teach in my class. I'm going to talk about marriages. I'm going to talk about the same-sex marriage. I'm going to talk about live-in relationship. I'm going to talk about a uniform law for marriages. Now, as a sociology teacher, what are the theories related to marriage? What is the anthropological evolution of the concept of marriage, and how are we going to tell the students that what is marriage is all about? Children do not know the meaning of that relationship. They think that it is a union of a male and a female. I think now that is also not questionable. I can't use the word male and female because now there are so many other angles to it. They have finally come to a point that it is an association of two individuals. That's all. You don't need to be male also, you don't need to be female also. Right? So when you start teaching the law of marriage by resorting to the sociological theories and the social institutions for marriage, kinship, family, and all these things, and then you explain them the law relating to marriage, the impact will be quite different. The impact will be quite different. But unfortunately, sociology teacher gets into the class, we talk about the ancient theories, philosophies relating to marriage, and he comes. Then you talk about your Hindu Marriage Act and Muslim Marriage Act, and then you come out, and students do not have time to correlate all these things. And if we do not amalgamate these two theories, then the result is courts will be flooded with unnecessary litigations for want of proper understanding of these institutions. You may live together without marriage. You may even give birth to a child during the civil partnership, during this living relationship. And you may want to separate without any commitments. Perfect. But what will happen to that child? Who is going to be the future of this nation? By law, that child is a bastard. Sir, it's not a bad word, it's a legal word. So for professors from other discipline, I'm telling them. So that is, we are permitted to use that word in the class. Because that child is an illegitimate child. I think teachers of family law knows this. Any child born out of wedlock is an illegitimate child. You may have lived together, you may have procured, you must have given birth to that child with consent. But still that child is an illegitimate child. It will not be entitled to all the privileges what a child is born out of a lawful wedlock. So this amalgamation, originally the regulators at the Bar Council felt that had to be there, and that is why they brought in the BA LLB to 5-year law degree program. And initial few years, the teachers were given this orientation and told them to teach economics by using legal cases. You should teach political science using judgments rendered by the courts. Then only you will be able to relate the concept of sovereignty, the concept of democracy, right? Whatever you teach in political science, how will you relate it? How will you relate it with, because I see students coming to me and arguing that, sir, I have come to study law, and why are you teaching me history and economics? I don't want this. If I would want to study economics, I would have gone to Delhi is joined in some college, I would have studied economics in a better way. Why am I being compelled to attend these classes in economics when I don't want to study economics? Because he is taught economics as if he is a student of BA economics only. That is the reason students get agitated, and that is one reason why this disengagement in the classes happens, in spite of the teacher putting in a lot of efforts. In spite of students attending the classes more than 75% of their total classes, the end result is 0. We do not come out with the desired outcome as envisioned by our regulators. So this is something which we need to know. Now, I think the younger generation teachers, the early career teachers need to be told this. That is the reason that I place on record 100 times my appreciation to Amity Law School for bringing this topic today and reminding all the young teachers that we need to amalgamate these things. Now, these are old things. No, we presume that, okay, these amalgamations are happening. Like, see, if you look at the curriculum of Gujarat National University, where I am, we teach, the course is law and economics. And we actually teach them the cost of compliance. We teach them only this. Right? And please, your economics teacher should become a member of our Indian Association of Law and Economics. There are annual conferences in your course, and we get every year we get Nobel laureates in economics coming and talking. It will be wonderful that you all could get benefited. We have a wonderful journal, and in fact, during the second issue of the journal, we got UGC care recognition for that. Now you can understand the quality of articles published. Only in the second issue, generally UGC care says you need to be publishing for at least 5 years, 7 years on these things. But in the second issue, they gave us the care list by looking at the quality of the first. Right. So we have a Center for Law and Economics. We have a Center for Legal History. And I think, to my knowledge, I have traveled extensively throughout India, visited most of the law schools. We are the only university to have a legal history museum. So where the students can go and see a property document registered by the then rulers who were kings. How is that sale deed is registered? Today you know sale deed. But how this sale deed, sale transaction was happening, have you ever seen? No, you see the document, then you travel back in time machine. It takes you. So we thought that we should have a legal history museum, where we started compiling all legal documents, historical documents, the agreements what Maharajas did, the orders issued by the Maharajas, the judgments delivered by the Maharajas in various states, including, we have the share certificates of East India Company. We recently purchased it last year from somebody in Kolkata. We took a curator to find out whether that was the original share certificate and he was printing copies, because he was charging 20,000 rupees per certificate. And East India Company value would not have been 20,000 rupees. Now we are buying those share certificates at that cost because we wanted to show our students that this is how the East India Company share certificate used to be like. Now you see what is the progress in corporate law has happened, and today's share certificate, this share certificate, just compare it and then see how India has progressed or not. So we have a legal history museum to promote the amalgamation of laws. Similarly, we have a Center for Law and Society, which also comes out with a beautiful journal of law and society. We should all visit our website, look into it for fantastic articles. And this, the sociological perspective to every legal issue, that center works very, very hard. I'll be very, very happy and proud to say that when the first lockdown was imposed in 2020, when migrant laborers got stuck at multiple places, and we were also not sure who went where because it was a sudden lockdown and students went helter-skelter and everything was locked. Nobody was able to move, but then what was connecting us was internet. So in the internet, the Law and Society, the Center for Law and Society was deliberating on the problems of migrant laborers, especially they are away from the hometown, now they can't go back to their hometown. When we heard news of people walking for hundreds and thousands of kilometers back, then our Center for Law and Society took this issue of helping these migrant laborers reach their hometown. And these students, faculty members, university officials like me and my registrar, we were all connected online and we were monitoring, supervising and implementing this project. And believe me, we safely transported 12,000 migrant laborers from different parts of Gujarat to Bihar and Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand and other states. Because the students had that feeling of responsibility that we could do. Every day we were paying for the full train. We entered into a contract with the Indian Railways, booked the entire train, whatever amount was charged, we paid that money. We loaded, we informed all these people. There was a team collecting data of all the. Well, we were not know who's the migrant labor who want to go. So there was a team working, collecting this data, and then there was a team negotiating with Indian Railways. There was a team negotiating with the pantry people so that they provide food at the different stations when the train will reach. Because you can't cook the food and give it at Ahmedabad because train will go for 2 days. So we had to arrange food at after every 3 hours, wherever the train will reach, we had to keep somebody. That lockdown period when nobody was able to come out of their house. This we did it. We spent a lot of money, and thanks to our alumni, university did not spend even a single rupee. It was all completely funded by our alumni. Whatever money was pouring in, and we were able to do it. We started receiving requests from various other states. Like we got a request from Indore. They said that a bunch of some NGO called us and said some bunch of people, 50, 60 people, they could not go. Then we hired a bus from Mumbai, sent the bus because Indore, we could not get a bus. We hired a Volvo bus from Mumbai, sent the bus to Indore to pick all of them and take them back. Home to home, we would connect. So this will be possible only when you imbibe those values in this way. If you teach law in isolation, you are preparing them to be a half-baked lawyers. And law cannot be read in isolation. Any law for that matter. You cannot understand even a single word of Competition Act if you are not good at economics. I know the competition law teacher, if there is anybody, you can agree on this idea with me. Agree, right? You can't understand competition law without understanding economics. You can't understand the insolvency bankruptcy code without understanding economics. You can't understand constitutional law without understanding political science. You can't understand the Indian Penal Code or your constitutional law without understanding the legal history. You cannot understand family law, law of contract without understanding sociology and history. So that is why this amalgamation came. But later, the university started amalgamating commerce and law, BCom and LLB. Then they started amalgamating BBA law, business administration and law. It's a wonderful initiative. We need to be proud of those initiatives. Some universities like NLU Jodhpur was the first university to come out with BSc LLB. Now we are also doing it.
At Gujarat National University, we offer a BSc LLB. We have only a science lab, and now we have completely diverted teaching students on forensic science. Because of our proximity to the National Forensic Sciences University and because of the facility of sharing laboratories. Now, because forensic evidence is something which is going to affect legal practice. It may be not only criminal matters, where you collect samples, witnesses, and other things. Even in family law matters, where DNA are important. Even in all the financial frauds, where cyber forensics are very, very important. Where biotechnology, understanding genes, understanding all these things, DNA fingerprint. We have a law for it. So we need to, now universities started amalgamating BSc with law, BCom with law, commerce with law, BBA with law. And certain universities are doing BTech and law. Like UPS, they are doing it. But then it became a failure because I think now most of them have wound up BTech law program, but other programs are running here and there. But what I am trying to say is amalgamation is a beautiful thing. It's very, very relevant for the legal profession because legal professionals like lawyers or judges can't use the knowledge of law in isolation. They need to understand the society before interpreting a law. They need to know the history before interpreting a law, before giving a judgment. You need to argue your case in context to what is happening in the society. You can't close your eyes towards that and say that this law means this. No, that verbal grammatical meaning of law will not serve the purpose. The law will get its meaning only with reference to the context in which it was. Right. So that amalgamation of law with the different disciplines is very, very important. And now we have seen, I'm very happy that the judges are issuing bail orders using artificial intelligence. Right? Artificial intelligence, everybody is now using it on a day-to-day matter, right? Are you using it or not? Everyone?
Recently, I studied an article where Karnataka High Court judges they use chatbot for the delivery of the judgment and all that. I read personally we are like.
No, I'm telling you that are we using artificial intelligence or not in our day-to-day life?
Someone the life being here.
Sir, we are completely, I'll tell you now, we have become addicted to artificial intelligence. Now you don't think what word you should type in your WhatsApp message. Automatically from it suggests, it predicts the word that what should come next and it gives you. Yeah, that is not, artificial intelligence is not something. Artificial intelligence is now predicting judgments. It's predicting judgments. If this matter goes before this judge, this will give the interpretation that this judge will give based upon the previous judgments. Yes. Please, sir, there are websites. Yes. There is a website called CaseMind, which is owned by LexisNexis. Of course, it's not in use in India, but it's used in the United States of America. Please Google for all these sites, the legal sites which uses CaseMind by LexisNexis. And interestingly, you will know that and this artificial intelligence will be dangerous to judges also. Using this artificial intelligence, you can predict the behavior, you can do a behavior analysis of a judge. So somebody did a predictive behavioral analysis of the Chief Justice of Philippines. The kind of judgments he is delivering, favoring or taking one particular stand, which was quite contrary to the government's stand. And the government has moved an impeachment motion against the Chief Justice of Philippines. Just because of this, the AI has connected all the judgments he has delivered throughout his career And now it had given a color to this that, and this judge is of this side, he will give only this kind of judgments. Philippines has moved an impeachment motion against the judges. Right? So these are something, you will have to happily amalgamate the technology into teaching law, and you need to make it very, very interesting. In fact, this generation doesn't want to listen to lecture. They want to, because as rightly said by learning by doing is the best thing possible. So, you tell, they forget, right? You see, you remember, but you do, you understand. Only when you actually do something, you understand. You see something, then you might remember. Even if I show you the picture of Taj Mahal, you will immediately recollect that this is Taj Mahal. Because you have seen it. Right? If I would have been telling you why market structure, where going was very, all these things, you will not be able to recollect all these things. So you should try and amalgamate all these things into the field of law. The only problem is this FDP. Sir, I think maybe the next HPP FDP should not be a blender mode. It should be a hands-on workshop for teachers, and don't allow any teacher to enroll, because I think our generation is already corrupt. Right? So we are corrupt beyond repair. I think there is no point in investing time and energy on people like us. Let's collect young teachers, passionate teachers. Even if they are 30, sir, we will produce 30 teachers, sitting with them, making them understand, making them work, making them amalgamate something and show it to us. Yes. They should actually amalgamate 2 different disciplines and then show it to us. And then once we train them that way, I think that will be better. Instead of we deliver 10 lectures on amalgamation, that they will simply listen or might not listen. Yeah. I think we should stop this blended mode. It should be physical thing, because I feel I also had the choice of addressing it. You gave me that choice. That if you can't, can at least join online. But this feel you do not get, more, it's not about knowledge. Knowledge, so you can Google and get all this information, whatever I have said. I have not said anything what Google does not do. But this experience sharing, connecting with people, seeing people face to face, meeting them, the peer-to-peer network, this really helps in a person's career. I have grown just because of my network, not because of my knowledge. I said you that I got a purpose degree. Right? I went for such meetings, interacted with people, created a network, and then I became a very active member of the law teaching community. And that is why I never said no to any event where I can see a lot of teachers. Wife was compelling me to not go to flight last night. She said, traveling crazy, something will happen to her. You reach midnight when you will not see, you go, what are you doing? Why are you doing? You can just address online. I said, I made my commitments. I enjoyed this. I want to meet each other closely and go in. So this is something very, very important to this kind of activity. I sincerely appreciate. There are a lot of things that you can amalgamate. I like for the last 2 years, I have been working on something called design. Like I don't know how many of law teachers know about design thinking as a concept, as a theory, as a process. I was just traveling one day on a flight from Amalgamation to Mumbai. Somebody was sitting next to me. So he was reading something, I was reading something. I have people into his book. And the type of books and design. Then I stopped reading my book because I didn't understand what it is. Then I started getting into the conversation. Then he said that he's a professor of management skills and he is teaching design thinking to the management students somewhere in Mumbai, and he was going to deliver a talk on design thinking. So I just got curious, went home, started researching on design thinking. I found that that is the most beautiful concept that all knowledge should employ for writing your research papers, for writing thesis. If you are still not done a PhD, please follow the design thinking model. You will come up with wonderful thesis. When NIRF made it mandatory that they will accept only papers published in journals indexed in Web of Science and Scopus, which was alien to Law University. We never knew. Sir, I am telling you, legal publication is in a very, very bad shape. I know by now you must have understood. Yeah, with your experience.
And university will not give anybody unless it's super or.
Yeah. So the research papers, the quality of research papers, for example, that day when I was filling sometime back, the NIRF data, I said how many papers. So the field research very proudly said, sir, this year we have 226 papers. Wow, wonderful, great. I never knew that our teachers are writing and publishing so much. It's a great thing. So when we started filling up option number one, number of papers published, number one, option number one, Scopus. I have how many? 0, sir. Web of Science, 0, sir. There was no third option. All my 226 papers gone into my field. I could not take advantage of any one paper published. Then immediately convened a faculty meeting and said that this is the status of our publishing. I'm really worried, what will happen to our ranking. We need to do something. All these things. Then, and again, as what teachers, we were new to even think beyond doctrinal research, which is nothing but tabletop research.
Everyone had been needed. Scopus and Web of Science application, we have done 90% of mine.
So how do we produce? So I was addressing my faculty members. So, NLU faculty members are quite different. They don't say quietly like ours. You are a lovely people. You allowed me to speak for 15 minutes. So this privilege I could not enjoy in my own university. So when I said that, one professor said that, yes, madam. Sir, if you can show one of your paper published in Scopus, we will follow that. Started scratching my head. Because I have long unprepared for this meeting. Never expected this to say. He told me. Then I said, okay, meeting is adjourned. Adjourned till when? They were asking me, sir, adjourned till when? I told adjourned till I come back with my Scopus study. I did not conduct a faculty meeting. For next 3 to 4 months, I did not call them for a meeting. When I called them for meeting, I had 3 papers, 2 in Scopus, 1 in Web, 1 in Scopus. Now I went to 3 papers. I called for a meeting. They said, sir, your papers? Yes, I have papers. So what is so big about Scopus? I said, so nice about Scopus is that one of my paper has been picked up by WHO and put it on their website, and they have made it a mandatory reading for all doctors. And believe me, in this last 3 years, in spite of so much of hectic schedule, I have published 20 papers. 20 all index. I don't now write for any non-index journals at all. Many friends ask me who are editors of journals, they said, why don't you give one article on environmental or this and that? I said, sorry, but I don't have time. Because the second thing I asked is, if your journal is indexed in Scopus or website, I will. Right? They said no. I said, sorry. So I write now only for Taylor and Francis. I write only for Brill. I write only for those journals which are indexed in Scopus and Web of Science. And now it has become an addiction. Now I feel bad if this month I have no articles published. It has now become an addiction that I want to see one article every month now. And believe me, it's very, very easy to publish in Scopus and Web of Science rather than in some other journals run by your bodies. Previously, that was the culture. You scratch me back. Even if the reviewer given back over, you can bypass it and ignore it and publish it. No, yeah, no, nothing. You see that. And this all this thing, really, I just got motivated by this design thinking. I got involved in that process, and after that, all my PhD scholars, whenever somebody registers for a PhD with me, I will ask them, I will just give them a few lessons on design thinking and say that now we come out with a problem which will match this. So where do we get problem? The first candidate, because when I wanted to do it, I didn't, and the candidate was also clueless. They did not know where to get the problem from. I said it should be an action problem we will work on, not commentary on some judgment given by the Supreme Court some 10 years back. I don't want that kind of cases. I don't want to put my name in any of the such kind of cases. I will give my name to only those cases which will provide concrete solution to a real life problem. I don't want a fictional doctrinal work, nothing. And again, my friend said that you will never get somebody doing PhD under it. And within 3 years, sir, when I started initiating this project, 4 scholars have submitted out of 6 scholars. Submitted out of 4, 3 are awarded. It's possible. There are simple methods available. As long as we close our eyes, only looking into the domain of law, you will never grow. You should be open to the developments, what is happening in the other discipline, and start doing things on it. Then you will get to know. Like for the first scholar, the research problem. Where did I get that research problem from? I got the problem from my kitchen. I love cooking. I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. Whenever I'm at home, I'm found only in this. I'm passionate about cooking. So, in fact, there is a maid working with us, and she will help me cutting onions and all those things. Cutting onion is something that I don't do. Though I'm passionate about cooking. 2 things I don't like: cutting onions and washing utensils. So me and my wife entered into an agreement that I will cook and shave about the utensils. Which I did not negotiate properly. I agreed to it without understanding it. Then I got to know that washing of utensils, what she has to do, will be done by the maid. Right? So which means she is not doing anything in cooking. So that made, one day she was asking me, "Sab aapko bada bada kuch pe hai, mujhe help kijiye, what do you want?" मुझे आधार कार्ड के लिए reference of the vice chancellor. They are giving, they are setting up company. चलो they will give. नहीं जरा उनको नहीं मिला. She was, Hindi was quite different, so I do not understand. Then I asked many people to talk to her and help me. Then finally we found out that she could not get an Aadhaar because she is not an Indian. Then I got into a problem. I'm employing a foreigner in my institution, right? Right, no problem over here, right? When she's not an Indian, she's a foreigner. And that too, she is an illegal migrant. She's a refugee, not a refugee, in fact, in legal terms. She's an illegal migrant, that's all, legal status. Not a citizen of India. And she is working in my house. And she is getting paid by the university. I thought there's no complication on that. So how did she enter and what is this thing? Because in Gujarat, getting somebody to put non-vegetarian was so difficult. So I had to employ somebody to run something. Then we understood that she was living in a small island outside Sundarban, in West Bengal, which territory belonged to Bangladesh. And due to sea level rise, that island is submerged, and that island has few families, 60, 70 families. It was filling. So suddenly it came up, and all of them had to flee. In Bangladesh was so far that they can't reach Bangladesh before the night. India was closer to them, so they came to India. And they can't stay in Bangladesh because Bengali people police to arrest them. So they go to the train, pay somewhere, and then finally they will up in the house. Right? So I was doing a project of creation development bank on climate justice. So this climate refugees was something which was interesting. So I then started doing research on what is the legal status of these people who were forced out of their territory because of climate change reasons, not for political, they did not run away from their country in fear of political persecution to get refugee status under the refugee convention. Now these people, they can't go back to their country, they can't stay in this country. What is the legal position of this? Let's start working on it. So I told my scholar, meet all the candidates, go to that island, see if you can go there, if you can enter. It is a fantastic work. That was so well documented. It was such a beautiful thesis that we came on environmental reviews. The new concept of environmental reviews, and then we came up with the prototype. Almost everyone in every research scholar, when the writer thesis, I don't allow them to continue by telling them we need a law to fill the void. No, you give me what kind of legislation you want and how the legislation will look like. It's easy to comment when the parliament comes out with a law, but you sit and make a law and say that this is the kind of law we want in India to help this resolve this problem. Come out with a prototype of your research, because you have understood the problem completely. So when you draft a law, it will be 100 times better than a legislative draftsman sitting in parliament who has no idea about this problem drafting it. So similarly, we were traveling. I was traveling with one of my research scholars. On the way, we stopped somewhere in Faridabad to drink sugarcane juice. That was because the tire got punctured. We gave it to a guy, a small boy, a 16-year-old boy sitting in the roadside shop. And we thought that, but then we did not have an option to go to a big shop because this is the only roadside shop available where the puncture has happened. We said, okay, we asked him whether they can do it. Unfortunately, it will take 15 minutes to remove the tire. Why are you taking 5 minutes? He said, sir, very cool. He said 5 minutes, but he completed the work in 4 minutes. And the kind of tools that he had used for removing the tire and replacing the tire, we have never seen in our life. We got so curious. So मैं खुद से बनाया मैं टायर शॉप में वर्क करके I just made it with all this rods and everything. It's one tools. The puncture shop. I think you can go to any puncture shop if you have the keenness to look into that. Such a nice innovation. Wonderful inventions he have made with a small rod. He had made such beautiful tool with which he can efficiently replace tires. What kind of an innovation is this? Then next to that was the sugarcane juice where we started. And they said some closing, and then I will not be able to give you sugarcane juice because I have already packed it. And then meanwhile, when we were discussing, he started writing like a car. That sugarcane machine became a vehicle for him to go. I don't know if you guys have seen such a thing. It had a steering wheel, it had 4 tires, and he switched on that engine, and with that engine was which what he was making sugarcane juice. He converted into a vehicle and then he started driving it, and it even had a ventilator, the headlight. Because he said by the time I reached, it was dark, so I need headlights of this that engine, which is used to crush sugarcane, was used as an automobile engine to drive his vehicle. He had a steering, he had a brake, he had a horn, he had a headlight, he had invented a wheel, and this guy had never been to his school. And now these kind of inventions, how do we protect it? These guys do not know the law of IP rights. They don't know how to patent it. Yes. The only our option is utility patent. But utility patent is now we don't have a law for utility patents in India. There is no patents. Why our India's ranking is so low in the IPR index? Because we do not have an regulatory law. Why China is more? Because they are every month there are 20,000 patents, including patents. That's why they are top on the list. We don't protect our innovations. We only look for innovations as they are very development. Where our investment in R&D is very, very less. Right. So there we started that's what we decided that will be a research topic to work on patents. How does it law to protect the look like? So he came up with a fantastic draft law on patents. And we have taken that thesis, and after the thesis degree was awarded, we have taken this thesis, discussed it with few members of the parliament who had promised us to leave it in the government to protect this. Small innovations. What these guys is the roadside now. We do not have a legislation to protect such innovation. So that is where you need to look beyond law to actually come out with the solutions that will help for the entire community, not only the community of the legal scholars, but the entire community. So that is, I think that is a real object of this thing. I think you should do a hands-on workshop. I think this lecturing will not be enough. This lecturing, there can be one or two lectures motivating to just, to warm up. These lectures can be there, but then we should actually amalgamate two disciplines come out of this year. So that kind of hands-on workshop, I actually expect from you because you are initiated it. We should take all the credits for this. Get all the young leaders from the actually go back to those 21 days of education program. Everything will not work. All them for 21 days because we learned a lot during our 21 days. And staying together, living together, studying together, working together. We are just 15 today. So we after this program we went to different parts of the country. Till then we are very connected, and I'm telling you that out of that 18 people who were there in the branch, 11 of them are now vice. So that is the positive impact that you can do by doing this kind of thing. I wish this program a grand success. I wish the committee could take and give in continuing discussions on it because there is no harm in repeating the same topics. You can do version 1, version 2, edition 1, edition 2, right? So keep doing this exercise until our teachers are very, very comfortable in amalgamating different disciplines. We have I was discussing with your dean academics that how we have conceived a course on biotechnology law and policy. It's a big hit. And believe me, this year we started a course only for doctors and the eligibility to join this program is MBBS degree. Minimum. Even BDS we did not accept, we rejected those applications. We actually admitted one day MBBS doctors. We said only 60 seats. We had almost around 270 applications. We rejected all. Took only 60 doctors. And you come to every Saturday, Sunday, our campus will look like a hospital. With so many doctors roaming around our campus. Our campus will be full of doctors. All not early career doctors, senior people, veterans. From different disciplines, when we selected 60 people, we wanted to pick from each one from different disciplines within the medicine, like ophthalmology, cardiology, endocrinology. Every field we had picked up people, doctors, and they are all in our campus. We do a course on medicine, law, ethics, policy. We go do the course on medicine and all ethics, only for doctors. So this kind of amalgamation of law with other disciplines will definitely keep your law school on a different pedestal. We are a beneficiary. Right? Today I get a lot of requests coming from different governments. I'm very proud to say that we are the one day university which trains naval officers. They don't come for 2 days training, 3 days training. They stay in our campus for 4 long years. We do a residential training program for naval officers. And you see them every day in campus with the white uniform. They are there, they are studying maritime operations, maritime law, and maritime operations. We teach them counter terrorism, we teach them anti-virus. So we teach them a lot of other things, certain maritime discourse, law, law discourse. So we have entered into an arrangement with Navy. We are doing similar program for Air Force officers. We have a new with the Indian Air Force. Now I think service from the Indian Air Force. Recently we have announced that we will not charge any fee both for the airmen, employees of the Air Force, serving, retired, as well as their children. They will study with us any of the Air Force. That is really a relationship that we are trying to engineering with Air Force. Now, the recent development, what is happening in Amalgamation is, we must be knowing, sir, that there is a new department where high services, DSA. DSA had approached us. So they wanted a program, a training program on space law. So I said, so we are already doing a space law program. Why don't you send your officers for that space law? So our space law program is it's a world-renowned program. We get participants from globally for our space law program. Because we, in fact, ISRO funds it and ISRO sends a lot of its officers to understand space law. Now DSA has approached us and they said that this training program will be exclusively for our tri-services officers, picked up specially for this, and this is what we want you to teach. I asked them, saying, what is the context? What is the urgency? They said, tomorrow. You should send the agreement tomorrow. You give me the rates tomorrow. Right? So then I could understand that China, the government of India had got an intelligence report that China had already stopped a lot of weapons in its satellites. Weaponization of space has already started happening. And Chinese satellites are already carrying weapons which they can launch at any point of time at any place. So they wanted to understand this space law to see that whether we can also do that. So we are working on that project. Similarly, the NSAB approached us. They said that, sir, this northern sea route is open now. What will be the geopolitical issues because of this Arctic melting? No, because I am in a climate change technique, so they came to me. No, that was a call from the PM office. They were not even willing to come online or anything. They took me to the NSAB office in the PM office. And then this was discussed that what will be the geopolitical issues because of the opening of the northern sea route. What will happen if the Chinese vessels will not now go through Suez Canal, Indian Ocean? If they don't go there, and if they choose that route and pick up all the oil from Russia, take to China, now what will be the implications for India? So we are doing such work. Now you can understand, the need for amalgamation of different disciplines. The conventional teaching of IPC, CPC, there is no work. No more work. It will not more help anybody. That is one reason why we will have to say our recruiting companies, it's not student available. That was 1 year before. All our students are recruited to their school because of the kind of response. Because all these things we can't do with our small number of faculty members. So we employ our students. For every project, we generously take student associates, we call them SRH student research associates, and we pay them 10,000 rupees every month for their support. So they are also benefited, they are also very intensely and then they contribute to our course. And that is why we can help in the government, various agencies like Navy, Air Force, private services, and all other agencies, including sort of support area. So you will have to think beyond the boundaries of law. And beyond the boundaries of law, you will find plenty of opportunities. That is one point that I would want to prove with my experience, that these are not hypothetical. These are not that, something imaginative that it might happen. It's all happening now. And I am very, very sad that the market people are closing their eyes. They are resisting towards change. You know that many licenses say that sorry, all the other consultants they are agreeing with corporations to open the corporations, but law schools are not agreeing. Many licenses are changing in many universities wherever I go. So there is just something, and I tell them that make them sit with me for 1 hour. I will tell them how to publish because they do not know that there are that much like this. I do not know how many of you have searched this focus database for the meaning. And if you start writing for both journals, take it in writing, that the paper will never get published. So what is the strategy? Because they publish from authors writing from Harvard and Cambridge and Oxford, not from University. But then there are journals. Please focus even in Q1. You will find journals which will be for an engineering journal, which will appreciate an article on the latest in patent. You can write a beautiful article on green patents and give the opinion of our Indian court on green patents. Write it for an engineering journal, they will publish it and it is in Q1. Focus Q1. Okay. And these engineering journals are very, very fast in publication. Just in 3 months, your article gets done. Within 1 month, the reviewer's comments will come to you. You comply with all the comments, send it back. Second month, third month, you are accepted. And that is the reason that I will publish or this 20 article class in this.
Practice subject to laws and regularity exceeded this idea.
Yes.
You get faculty in charge. You must talk to your people across the implementation.
Because writing for any other journal will not help you also. You are not helping university. You are sitting and not add value. You are receiving your application. Right. Taken enough time. So thank you so much. If there are any credits, I will be happy to others. Otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you.
Please follow me. I know all your organizations focus and make a list and then talk to us how we can carry to the management. Great.
I'll just add one more point which law teachers are very allergic to. One more thing, when you are writing for papers, one thing that I find law teachers feel shy is working with co-authors. If you feel that you alone can write something, especially interdisciplinary, the outcome will be a failure. Feel free to collaborate. You have a biotechnology department, have a professor from biotechnology, you give your legal inputs, come out with a paper which will involve biotechnology, science, law, policy, and other perspectives. You can bring in a new perspective to biotechnology. We'll have to see, like I've seen, I think, if you can just Google, just type on Google the maximum number of authors in a Scopus article. You just Google for this, maximum number of authors in a. One day I was checking like this, like how many authors can co-author a paper? Is there a limit? Because again, that debate came in our faculty meeting. Should there be 2, 3, 4, 6, 7? What should be the limit? So I did not know this. Because I did not have at any point of time a good mentor to mentor my research. So then I Googled for it. Then immediately I got a result from Nature that there was a paper published by Nature. It's on physics, which has close to 5,500 authors. 5,500 authors in physics. That is the largest, I think, until date as the record. You can just Google and that paper is in public domain. Check the paper. The paper also you can download and see that the paper is just a 30 pages paper. And the authors list is 66 pages. Yes, the authors list. And the paper is just 33 pages. You can see that. Similarly, in medical journals, Lancet, I came across an article with 1,200 plus authors. But how is it possible? How does this guys actually can sit and collaborate and write a paper? I could not understand this. I found that they were they in their societies, like ophthalmological society, there is a one doctor indicated that I am trying to test this medicine on this patient. So whether the same process and test can be done at all the places throughout the world. So different countries, different hospitals, different cities, doctors participated in that research, and everybody gave their input about what was the outcome of this test and process, and what was the result of using this medicine, and what is the outcome of it. So that is how Lancet publishes medical journal, medical articles, right? PubMed, all these journals. Likewise, this paper, you can search for this paper on physics, published by Nature, which has almost 5,000 plus authors in it. Right? I have actually downloaded that at the free for download. Okay. So never feel shy to collaborate with you should write together. You can involve teachers from other disciplines, even more. It will be very, very interesting to collaborate with the people from other disciplines. And then I did one paper like that, collaborating with the engineers, with captains of the ship, because this was about marine pollution. I just wanted to know, because I never entered the ship. So how will I know that what ships will pollute or what they will do, how the captains dispose of the material and the toxic waste which comes out of the engine. Then I had to involve the captain of the ship and all these things to understand them. It came in beautiful way. Obviously, wonderful way.
Thank you so much, sir, for gracing us with your expertise. And I must say, we must give them a huge round of applause for the COVID support injection. So what you enjoyed doing for the airport people also, that is also commendable. Congratulations for this. And so thank you so much. Your elegance, passion, commitment to your craft have led indelible mark on all of us present here today. The lecture has definitely broadened our vision, and especially for your strategy on how to get this focus in these journals. Thank you so much, sir. We all have been, I think we have got a lot of idea about it. Thank you so much. Next, we have Professor Dr. P.T. Saxena, ma'am. She has joined us. She is a keynote speaker. Technical team, please connect with me.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
She has switched off the camera.
Ma'am, please turn on the camera.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am. We are extremely privileged to have a renowned and distinguished personality who has joined us virtually. Professor Dr. P.T. Saxena, ma'am, Director Center of Postgraduate Legal Studies, former head and dean, Department of Human Rights, School of Legal Studies, Baba Bhimrao Ambedkar Central University with us today as a keynote speaker. Ma'am, we welcome you. Our virtual presence allows us to bridge the distances and enhance the path of connectivity to learn from a true thought leader. Ma'am is a legal scholar of constitutional law, administrative law.
Dr. Jyotsna, can you cut short this because I have some other engagement also, and I am Preeti Saxena. That's enough for me.
Okay, that's all I could give. I'm all virtual stage is yours. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Professor Yadav and your team for inviting me as the keynote speaker in this FDP. And as you know that I'm out of a station, I told you, and for some confidential work, and internet is also not stable here. And further, after the chief guest, Professor Shanta Kumar's detailed point of view on the topic, very little is left for me. However, the topic chosen by the organizer is very timely. And as I used to tell my students that laws, that's a study with and of everything. That is on land, air, water, soil, and space as we expand law, LAWS. So the topic which is under discussion that is very important. And I think that this law has never been a separate or independent subject of knowledge, either to teach or to practice. The law and legal profession has no limits, and neither the work done alone or nor in the isolation, as we all know. Law, that is a branch and that relates to more than one branch of knowledge. And law as a discipline of knowledge cannot be either judiciously or thoughtfully, or we can say prudently even. It cannot be taught in isolation. There are different disciplines which are required for law teaching, because law as an interdisciplinary branch allows synthesis of ideas and the synthesis of characteristics from many disciplines. One can understand the fundamentals of law by studying the courses like literature, philosophy, cultural studies, economics, history. As the chief guest also spoke about this law and economics, one of the international conferences being organized from our university in November. So there are many disciplines which are required for the knowledge and for the study of law. It includes the sociology, psychology, social psychology, physiology, anthropology, not only the subjects from the humanities and social sciences, but you see the medicine, technology are also the subjects which are required for law teaching and understanding the law in a proper manner. So to emphasize the importance of blending law schools as a professional development course with that of the humanities or social sciences is what we are evidencing every time. And we in Indian Law School, whether it's a university department or traditional law college, national law universities, private colleges, whatever are there, They're all conferring 5-year law degree with arts, with science, with management, with commerce. Many of the combinations are there in which the law degree is being given and conferred by these law schools now. So as a result of the standard legal education and the law students that they receive in these law colleges and law universities, they as lawyers work in highly specialized fields to advance their careers. A lawyer working on the cutting edge of intellectual property or artificial intelligence requires different abilities than a lawyer handling public law, criminal law, or commercial law. Because a general counsel for high-tech company and a lawyer practicing family law require different skills. This faculty development program is being attended by the faculty members from different disciplines. And because everyone knows that there is no boundary line in different between different disciplines, and law is not an independent branch of knowledge as yet. A common platform like this is indeed very timely and make the participants learn and understand the importance and discipline of knowledge cannot be developed in watertight compartments of one discipline alone. But an interdisciplinary approach is required to advance and enrich all around philosophy, culture, history, and literature, etc., etc. So while going through the sub-themes of this FDP, I could see the importance of the topics chosen for deliberations. And these topics require an interdisciplinary approach for discussion. And in that, the topics like constitution and democracy, which determines the relationship of the citizen and the governments, the topic of law and politics, the critical concept in political science, psychology, then public policy and law. So we need to discuss why does the constitution, what does the constitution play an important role, and how we find that what are the uses and what are the importance, what are the roles of the democracy in a constitutional governed country. And can democracy be effective without a constitution? Basically, it needs extensive deliberation from the political science, perspectives. And in that way, if you see, to impart the knowledge about India's freedom of struggle, that becomes very important. The constitutional framework, the functioning of the democracy, and the key aspects of the Indian politics, they all become very important when we have to discuss the law and politics and the constitutions and the democracy. And at the same time, integrating the global development and theoretical principles of political science in other countries are also required to develop a relation between the constitution and democracy. International law has a fixed reflection of the political choices also. That can be teach in the international law without political information. We cannot teach that. So we need to draw from the multiple political and social visions to teach the hybridity of the international law. Then another topic which I have seen there, that is literature and law. So literature and law, though being separate branches of social sciences, they share some proximity and amalgamate in objectives. So law works on the clarity, logical interpretation, scope, definite pattern and style of drafting, while you see the literature tends towards the abstraction, it tends towards the creativity, it speaks about the variety in description and narration. If you remember the judgments of the former Chief Justice of India, Justice Deepak Mishra's judgment, how beautifully he used to literature in law. There are others also, but if you go through the judgments, then you will find that these are the part where you will find that many of the different disciplines are being amalgamated in the law stream, because law cannot be taught in isolation. Then human rights with consonance of the human values is another sub-theme of your FDP. And we know that the human rights contexts are very much grounded in the legal education, particularly in the international human rights law. The human rights branch of law is interdisciplinary framework, requiring the insights of various interconnected and very, very highly diverse disciplines to understand the state accountability for their actions, the upliftment of the vulnerable and the marginalized populations. And at the same time, it is also the study that how to contribute to the human values, a better and more human, just and fair world for the human beings. If we see the managerial skills and the law professionals, then you see media studies, journalism, ethics, philosophy, theology, sociology, what subjects you count, then all these are the part, and these are the few fields of studies which have great impact on the legal study. And the importance of managerial skills and the legal skills, if we talk about in that sense, then we find that these skills are very important for a law student and also to work in the as a lawyer also. And for become a successful professional in law, the skills of a lawyer is expected to be well versed in the area of work. Good communication skill is the main in the legal business. Communication, service orientation, and relationship building is a very, very vital and important for an advocate or for a lawyer. And engaging himself to have an emerging and successful legal life, it is also required that he must have the information of all other laws at the same time, and other disciplines and other areas of the knowledge and study also. He must be very, very careful for that. So legal profession, if we talk, is one of the few professions that require an equal amount of hard and soft skills, and the skills like attention to every detail, legal research, technological skills, all these are required, which needs that your managerial skills are also very, very important for the study of law. And this is how you see that law is having an impact on law study can be only be good when you are having the idea and knowledge of the other subjects as well. Then laws, if we talk about the laws as they are influencing the society at large. So I'm reminded one of the definition given by a sociological jurist that laws are the general conditions of human activity prescribed by the state for its members. So law cannot be taught in isolation, as I'm repeating this line again and again, because whatever is coming in the society, whatever is coming from the society, that is having a great impact on the law making also. And that's why there are different types of the laws which are made only because of control the behavior of the person, the society. And then changing contours in the cyber law and special reference to this DPDP, etc. So you see that laws are made on the public demand. Laws are also made for the purpose of controlling the behavior. But if you see the DPDP bill, then this is the fourth iteration, but all these iterations are still fail, and we don't have any law to, and I should say that the makers have no courage to pass this law. There are others also. History and law, and this is also one of your topic, subtopic. Then gaps in the law related to the women in India and its impact on the society. So what we see that special provisions are made for the women. That is in the Supreme Law of the Land, if you see 15(3), and the other provisions. Stringent criminal laws are also there. Many amendments therein are. We see that there have been made in the laws which are related to particularly to the women, but still we see the helplessness sometimes. Many examples are there. Actually, the day when everyone will consider women as a human being and not as a chattel or bhogi vastu, then things will be better. But when the day will come, as all have, all of us have to contribute and participate in that. So law is a study, law is a subject which cannot be understood in isolation. Law is a subject which needs the amalgamation, and that's why the importance or the emphasis of amalgamating different disciplines, different subjects, and different areas of knowledge, that makes law perfect. Because in law, every subject had its own importance, and that's why you see the lawyer has to know everything about the other studies, other knowledges which are in existence, because there are different type of the cases which a lawyer has to argue, and if he or she is not aware about those things, then the arguments would not be successful in his or her favor. And that's why it is required that we have to make our students to learn the different aspects, because to understand any subject in law, as told by the chief guest also, that if we have to understand the constitution, if we have to understand the contract, if we have to understand the IPC, if we have to understand the newer laws which are coming up, whether it's a cyber law or some other technology law. So these are all the laws which need the historical background, which needs the surroundings, which need the sociological aspects, which need the other aspects of the knowledge which are required for becoming a very good lawyer. And with these words, I suppose that many of the things have already been discussed by the earlier speaker. The only thing is that we have to teach the students in such a way so that they can also understand the importance of the different subjects, different disciplines, and how to amalgamate, how to unite, how to merge those subjects with the study of law, and then be successful in their career, in their future, in their life. That is very important. So with these words, I once again thank you, Professor Yadav, to accommodate me online because I was busy in some confidential work. And thank you once again for all. I would like to be there in person, but because of this very important work, I couldn't be in Lucknow. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share some of my points, which I am also not satisfied with what I told and what I was speaking here, but still, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity to learn from you. Although virtually we have been connected, but definitely, ma'am, your guidance and vision continue to shape the future of education and are going to inspire the generations to come. Next, transformation bill. Short of a duty if they do not recognize a thing well done and encourage. May I now request Dr. Arvind Singh, Director, National Faculty Development Program, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, all. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence. Today, my words are not enough to express the gratitude of Professor Dr. Santha Kumar, Director, Gujarat National Law University, Gujarat, who graced us with his kind presence from his busy schedule. I would like to thank our beloved keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Preeti Saxena, ma'am, Director, Center of Postgraduate Legal Studies, Department of Human Rights, DBA Lucknow, for her constant help and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. We will ever remain grateful to you, and we thank you for being with us today. I, on behalf of Amity Law School, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our Honorable Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Wing Commander Dr. Anil Kumar, for various helps we received towards this faculty development program 2023. I am also thankful to the Dean Academics, Professor Dr. Rajesh K. Tiwari. They helped us in obtaining the necessary administrative approval for organizing the event in our campus. They supported in all possible manner to organize this FDP. My special thanks to all HOIs and HODs for their gracious presence. My sincere thanks to Professor Dr. J.P. Yadav sir, Director, Amity Law School, for his help and support at various stages. I am also very much thankful to all committee members and the invited speakers. Words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to shape the 5th edition of National Faculty Development Program. I am very much thankful to all our faculty colleagues and non-teaching staff members who always stand by us and motivate us. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheel starts rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated faculty committees, student committees, and volunteers. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of a task beyond their comfort zone. I am very much thankful to our sponsors, Lawtopers, SEC Online, Law Bhumi, and Lawfire. It would have been impossible to organize it without their support. I would also like to thank our IT team, administration, and catering team. Without their support, this event was not possible. I feel proud and thank you for making this event a successful one. At the end, I would like to take this opportunity to thank my co-convener, Dr. Reshma Umer and Dr. Jyoti Yadav, who joined hands to organize this dream event. At this juncture, I am remembering one quote of Swami Vivekananda: all parts is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that. Do not believe that you are weak. You can do anything and everything without even the guidance of anyone. Stand up and express the divinity within you. Once again, thank you all for making this event successful. Have a wonderful stay in Amity University, Lucknow. Enjoy the FDP and the campus life of Amity University. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. As a token of gratitude and honor, I would now request Wing Commander Kumar Tiwari, sir, Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Lucknow campus, to present the memorial to our chief guest, Professor Dr. S. Shanta Kumar, Director, Gujarat National Law University, as token of utmost respect and appreciation. So, may I now request Professor Dr. Jaiprakash Yadav, Director, Amity Law School, Amity University, Lucknow, to present the memento to Wing Commander Dr. S. Kumar Tiwari, Deputy Pro Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Lucknow, as a token of gratitude and honor. Thank you so much.
ये अच्छा है डाउनलोडेड है.
Now I would request everyone present here to stand up for the national anthem. Heading towards the end of the session, I would request everyone presently please assign the group photograph.